Nigerians living in Ghana are begging Ghanaians. They are shouting and screaming at the top of their voice that they do not want to leave Ghana, that they would rather buy in Ghana than going back to Nigeria and meeting Tinubu, that going back to Nigeria is a death trap for them, that they do not want to go back, and they are also begging the Igbo king to please step down, that enough is enough. They love the life that they are living here in Ghana and they don't want to go back. Let's watch the video together. Don't forget to like the video, share the video and subscribe.
I beg. That English word they using, I go deport Nigerians. I beg. Forget. Somebody just want to hear na rumor. I've been hearing people calling me, talk about this Igbo king in Ghana. There is not like 50 acres of land in Pram. The Honorable Sam George don't come outside talk, say there is nothing like the Igbo king acquiring a 50 plot of land. Ghanaians, mona come down. I beg. When I want deport us, go back to Nigeria, go suffer. Tinubu, they wait for us. All these things happening is Tinubu. I feel swear. Now Tinubu now tell they say make they carry this fake rumor so that they go fit deport Nigerians. We go nowhere. Even though now deport ourselves, we not go. Those of you say Nigeria must go, we know they go anywhere. We rather die for Ghana than to go anywhere. No king is coming to take kingdom. I beg. Mona, come down. We know they go.
Nigerians, I beg go. If you get money, let the poor breathe. As I they chop, something they chop my wash and fish, chitona. Mona, let the poor breathe. Who should be Una don't do anything wey go make Ghanaians say Nigeria must go. I beg go. Now who get money na be Nigeria. Who no get money not be Nigeria. And they as and they suffer they chop my watch. Mona let her just let her just be. Because the way Ghanaians the best now, they say not be only the Igbo king again. Now everybody go. See, for Ghana, big men and rich men, that they live their life easy. But Nigeria, if you don't get money, you are a suspect. You commit offense. Since when I dey Ghana, if I drink garri, nobody know. If I shop washing, nobody will know. I dey live my life, jejeje. I beg go. I beg go. If you be big man, do something where you go make make everybody live with peace. So, I'm saying you be big man and you want to do something where you go affect the poor men. No, I beg go. They talk my own now.
You see, as then they drag all of us. At the end of the day, these other countries do not know who is Igbo, who is Yoruba. All they know is this Nigerian. The funny thing is that Ghanaians do not know that this man has been existing in Ghana for more than 10 years. There is a lot that has happened in this country that I expected people like Ezendibo, to pitch in, talk, stand in for the Nigerians. Never ever. But only you just stand up. But only you came out to say you want to build Igbo community in Ghana for the Igbos that you are helping or the Nigerians that you are doing what for. This is a lesson to you self-hating Nigerians. Last, you are not a Ghanaian. Can you hear what the Ghanaians are saying? We don't want. You are not a Ghanaian.
This is a tough one that I have to do, knowing the number of Nigerian friends I have and how this may affect our relationship moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is this: the more we don't speak truth to one another in the face, the more it becomes everyone else's problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is our neighbor and friend. Nigeria is the heartbeat of Africa. They are the sound and rhythm of Africa to the world because of their sheer size and talents. That is undeniable. Africa's name, to some extent, goes as far as Nigeria goes in many ways. They are a force to reckon with, and that force, ladies and gentlemen, is also a problem to deal with. This is a country its people speak the loudest, both within and outside their borders, in spite of the many terminal challenges they face every day. This is a country whose spirit isn't easily broken, and if you are objective enough, you will concur with these facts, ladies and gentlemen. But a large percentage of the people of this country have chosen a pathway that cannot be encouraged, whether in Ghana, in South Africa, or in any part of the world. And this is what they have done. Ladies and gentlemen, they have given up on the fight to fix their own country and resorted to looking for what they couldn't achieve or cannot achieve in their own country, in other people's countries. And ladies and gentlemen, this shouldn't have been a problem, because every other African country actually does it, except that they are looking for this success by any means necessary and in the shortest possible time. This is the canker that plagues majority of young Nigerian immigrants anywhere they go. Shockingly, ladies and gentlemen, they are of the view that people outside of their country are not as driven and aggressive towards becoming successful as they are, not knowing that it is those same tendencies that's made their country the mess it is in. Many of them are therefore driven into all sorts of illegal enterprises anywhere they settle, getting rich by all means necessary in the shortest possible time. This is what Nigeria is being known for now. Who doesn't want this? But is that acceptable? It has gotten to the point that they don't care how a person makes their money, so long as the person makes their money. But you and I know that that's not how it's understood in other places. Nigeria, your people are running from your country as though the entire country is at war. Both men and women, young and old, to every other country. You have now become Africa's most emigrated country, meaning you have the largest number of people living abroad compared to any other African countries. This was true 20 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, and same today, and the number isn't slowing down because the factors that causes this is still expanding. Your social media content creators who indulge in politics are either doing it with comedy to trivialize the repercussions of their words, or are doing it outside of your country for fear of their lives. Almost every well-meaning person who speaks truth to issues in Nigeria lives outside of Nigeria. Fear and terror have hijacked your country at every front. There is no non-politician fighting for the change that can bring a difference in your country anymore. Almost every relevant voice in your country is either silenced or paid at this point. Therefore, the fight other countries have to put in to attain the peace you see and desire is what you have denied and declined. It doesn't work like this, Nigeria. Nigeria, instead of trying to make yourselves relevant in other countries, instead of trying to insert yourselves into the social fabric of other countries by all means necessary, how about this? How about you go back home and build your country? You have a country that could use a lot of the smart people. How be it, ladies and gentlemen, that the ones who claim to be smart are leaving or have left the country? Ladies and gentlemen, who have they left behind? How will you build your country like this? You have abandoned your country to politicians and cabals whose interest is similar actually to yours. And here's my explanation to that. Similar to yours in the sense that these politicians and cabals have conquered the country and now enjoy the monopoly of their powers and will hold on to it by any means necessary as long as they can. And that same spirit, ladies and gentlemen, is what most young Nigerians carry around to other countries. Are you any different, if I may ask? You want to dominate and entrench your dominion by all means necessary in the country you've moved to for as long as you can, just like your politicians and your cabals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the chaos in your country, and the same chaos is being exported to other African countries and to most parts of the world. You have for years elected leaders with similar mindset that has been proven over time to not work, and you don't seem to change. You have allowed for a system that manipulates and rigs election in favor of people who are clueless about nation building to lead. You have a 73-year-old president who's definitely older than 73 complaining about Nigeria not producing anything to the media. The people are complaining to the government, and the president is complaining to the media. Ladies and gentlemen, can't you see the mismatch in those who lead your country and how that has been the crux of your challenges? Does the president of Nigeria know that it is his responsibility to handle this situation or not? You have such an old man ruling the most dominant country in Africa, forcing every one of you to run to other places, seeking for change and recognition which you can't even find in your own home country. What other change is there for you apart from the changing of the leadership of your country for once in your lives, Nigeria? Now all of Africa will have to endure and suffer the onslaught of challenges many of your people migrate with. This cannot.
At this point, the only people that can save Nigeria is us, we Nigerians. You hear what Tuntum Network said. Tuntum Network, this guy is, I see him as a very intelligent person. And when he speaks intelligently. He speaks as if he knows Nigerians so well. He speaks as if he is a Nigerian. But when you look at everything he said, it's actually true. Nigerians need to go back to their country and build their country. But the question is, who is willing to go face the government of Nigeria? Who is willing to sacrifice their lives, stay in prison? Nigeria right now, I don't know how to explain my country, Nigeria, because if you're thinking you're going to be fighting against the government, sorry is your case. Sorry is your case. But I just hope one day all Nigerians would stand up, fight, and get back their country from the hands of these greedy politicians. My prayer is that just one day Nigeria could have achieved it, but Nigerians are so easy to chicken out. Like, they easily chicken out in every given opportunity. Any opportunity they get to do something, they cannot achieve it. They easily give up. They easily give up. Gaining freedom from your government in your country is not as easy as what most people think it is. Not like a country, Nigeria. Nigeria is a very difficult country, and to get back your things from the government, a lot of lives needs to be unalive. A lot of blood will be spilled. But who is ready to go down that road? Who is ready to take the bulls by the horn and say enough is enough? The only person I see doing that in Nigeria is very dark man, and he also has a limit to what he can say or do to avoid going to courts, to avoid going to prison, and of which he has been to that same prison over and over again because he is standing for the truth. So a lot of Nigerians, just like Tuntum Network said, a lot of Nigerians that are fighting for Nigerians are not residing in Nigeria. They are residing out of Nigeria due to the fear of the government. They don't want to be arrested. They don't want to be locked up for life. Nobody will come and bail you. The Nigerian system is not working. The judicial arm of government is not working. If you think you're going to fight the government in Nigeria, it's a lie. Even from the judiciary, legislative, executive arm of government in Nigeria, all of them are the same thing. So who are you fighting? If you are to fight, you have to fight every one of them because they do not want you to speak the truth. If you think you're going to be a VDM, you're going to be an activist in Nigeria, you need to stay far away from Nigeria to become that activist. But it's not going to work like that. It doesn't work that way. You need to be at home, fight for your country, fight for what you want. But who is going to risk it? Even we here as content creators, most times I compare Nigeria to Ghana, you will still see people coming to your inbox threatening you. Talk more of you are in Nigeria and fighting the government. You need to have some superpowers. You need to have some strong backings so that when the government apprehend you, you have one other government to take you out. You have another government. Nigeria is just like a case study. You need to study Nigeria properly because if you should sit down to start studying the country Nigeria, you are not going to graduate. You will never graduate. Look at Nigerians in Ghana asking Ghanaians not to chase them away from their own country. Their own country. You are begging them not to chase you away from their own country because you don't want to go back to your country. That is the worst case I've ever seen. That is the worst scenario I've ever seen. Like, Nigerians do not want to go back to their countries. There are Nigerians that have traveled abroad for years. They don't want to go back anymore. Instead, they prefer to be buried in that same country that they have left, that they have lived for years. Nigeria, is this how we are going to achieve our goals of making our country the giant of Africa again? I don't think it's going to be possible. But if it is going to be possible, we need to come together like the Kenyan youths, like South Africans, and take back our countries from this gullible, from this wicked, from this greedy politicians of ours. Is that going to be possible? It will if we have one mind. But the division in Nigeria is causing a lot of problem. The division in Nigeria would not make Nigerians achieve the goals that they want to achieve, because they have the Yorubas, they have the Igbos, they have the Hausas, and they all have who they want to attain the position of a presidency in Nigeria. Nobody wants to support each other. So how do we achieve this goal? This is the problem we are having in Nigeria. So my prayer is that maybe one day, peradventure, Nigeria will rise up like one, with one mind, and take back their country. And take back their country. That is my prayer. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how possible it is. Because when people come on the internet, they tend to speak and think and speak as if it's so possible to take back your country. Nigeria is a lawless country. There are things you cannot do as a Nigerian. You'll be locked up for life. Who wants to risk being in prison for life just because you're standing up for Nigerians? The people you're standing up for would go about their daily business. Whenever they lock you up, they'll forget about you. Nobody's going to stand up and bring you out again. Nobody's going to stand up and say, you locked one of us, let us bring that person out. See, Nigeria is a case study that needs to be studied, and you cannot graduate. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Like this video and share.